Good job. Ready? How many minutes?
Here with my buddy, Mrs. Tarchala. How are you, my dear?
I'm just wide awake and ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in this fruit tree pruning. I have apples on my apple tree already.
Well, yeah, you should. You should.
Okay, so that's okay.
We won't be pruning apples at this event. We will be pruning other fruits because you don't prune your trees till after they've fruited.
I was gonna say that you have to wait until the fruit is gone.
But you can get the idea, and then when your apples are done, then you can prune them later.
If you don't like my apples, then don't shake my tree.
That's
Isn't that what they say? I'm
okay, so
telling you.
one reason we're having a summer fruit tree pruning, most people prune their trees in the winter time when they're dormant. Well, it's kind of like fashions. Everything comes around, goes around. Well, in the old days, they only pruned in the summer. And then somebody got the idea of pruning in the winter because there were no leaves, so then they started doing that. But it's really better to prune in the summer. So now
even when there's foliage on the trees?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the reason you do this is because when you prune in the winter, it stimulates the tree to produce more growth.
Oh, really?
So instead of shaping your tree, you're just causing it to grow more and more and more. So it's like a losing battle. So when you prune it in the summertime, then it doesn't have that same reaction. It will grow some, but it's not going to go.
But it's not going to go crazy and say, I need to cover myself up again because my branches are bare.
Right, right.
I'll be darned. So this is going to be Saturday, July the 20th, 9 to noon.
Week from tomorrow.
Week from tomorrow at the GSA building up there at Airport.
Yep, and they're going to start you out there, talk to you about some stuff, and then they're going to take you up to the Mormon church, and they're going to prune trees, actually prune trees there.
Great.
Bring your tools. I got my little tree saw here.
Now, how far do you go into the branch? I think that's...
well, it's not so much going into the branch, it's a percentage of the tree that you can remove each year.
Okay.
So that's what they'll show you. And it's, just the tops part, but you can...
the top to make it like a fuller canopy.
To make it shorter, denser, but you can also thin in between too.
Okay,
so they'll show you.
They're going to show you how to do all that.
So you want to bring, if you have any loppers, this is the #1 tool you use for pruning trees.
Right.
And mine's long handled because I'm short, so I can get up really tall. And they're also short ones. And then you want to bring your little hand shears for the little tiny branches. And this is for really, and if there's any really big branches, you'll need a saw, but you don't always need that.
Right, because sometimes you see people, they take the loppers and they do it and they can't, and then they snap the branch, and then that harms it retards the growth.
Well, it opens it to infection. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So. Now, what are some of the trees that should be pruned at this time of the year after their fruit is gone?
Well, the peaches are producing now, so you can do peach trees, plum. Trying to think what else has bloomed already, but anything that's already produced fruit.
Okay, as soon as the fruit is gone, then it's time to go in and to do that.
Yeah.
And lop them pretty good, because my apple tree looks ugly.
Well, and they up at this church, they've rejuvenated some trees. There were some abandoned trees that had been planted by the Boy Scouts, and they went in and really whacked them up this spring, and people are, don't do that, but it helps the trees. The trees look beautiful now.
Okay, now, to get off the subject a little bit, but still talking about trees, if people want to start planting some new trees, like maybe 4 or 5 feet tall or 2 or 3 feet tall. Sure. This is not a good time right now?
Yes, you can, but you don't plant from bare root now. You plant from canned trees.
Okay, so you have to buy
all the nurseries that have gotten in bare root in the spring. They have already potted up way long ago. They potted up their trees, so you can plant potted trees now.
And the reason for that is because you want a bigger root ball.
Not necessarily. It's just that you
work with me, Jackie.
Well, I'll just tell you, baby, that you can't. When you bare root a tree, you can only leave it bare root so long.
Okay.
So when in the winter time, they're dormant. They don't mind having their roots exposed, but that's a short window of time, and then you want to plant them before they start sprouting. So they have to get them into dirt somehow.
And isn't it true, too, that a lot of people make this mistake? I've done this myself before, that people sometimes plant the root ball too low
way big problem.
Yeah, it's okay to let it stick up a little bit, am I right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Better too high, and that's given with all your plants, not just with fruit trees.
Okay.
But always better high than low, and a couple reasons for that is the water can slough off. You don't want the water settling around the crown.
Root rot.
Root rot, or
Okay.
crown rot.
Crown rot,
But
okay.
also, because when you plant the tree, no matter how careful you are, the soil is going to sink with time, and so you plant it high, so allowing for sinkage. You could always add dirt, but you can't pull it up once it's down. So
Okay.
once it roots into the ground. So if you plant it high, you're safe, and you can mulch around
And
it.
isn't it a good idea that when you dig the hole, they say it should be twice as big as the root ball, or
Yeah.
1.5 times,
Yeah,
or whatever?
and they're saying now, they used to say twice as deep as well. Now they're saying not as deep.
But if you do
Shallow and wide.
if you do get a little deep, could you add like some fresh soil, some really good soil that has amendments in it to give it a good start?
Well, UC Davis says not to. They say to plant in the native soil.
Oh, okay.
That's what they're saying, because the tree.
Shock?
If you mend your soil too much, then the plant is going to stay within the confines. Going to like that nice
Oh, okay.
soft
that-
soil,
so
and they're not going to go out into.
They won't branch out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you suggest not to. Just make sure that the hole is very, very wet and damp, so it gives it an
Well,
opportunity.
you always want to fill your hole with water. Make sure it drains.
Okay.
Make sure it's wet inside there for the roots to.
Okay, great.
onto, and
So,
yeah.
Airport Drive in Martell, and that is going to be July the 20th. And if you have any questions, it's 223-6838, right?
6838.
6838.
And you need to, go up there, even if you're not a real fruit tree person. It's still interesting information.
Absolutely.
But you can also get hooked into the Master Gardener program for their classes, because they produce lots and lots of classes all through the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And doing your own garden and your trees or whatever is very exciting. What are certain trees that won't grow? Like like I'm way up high up there in Volcano. There's a lot of fruit trees that it would not be good because I get snow. Am I correct? Figs.
Well, figs are hard because you have a shorter season.
Okay.
But it's not impossible.
But apples are good.
Apples are good. But there's a lot of fruits you can grow.
Okay. And that usually you can ask.
Probably not pecans.
No, probably not. Is right.
And don't
Again,
forget, these classes are free.
yes, they're free. So bring your loppers, bring your gloves, bring whatever you
Bring yourself.
Bring yourself, and get ready to rock and roll with Master Gardeners. And it's the summer fruit tree pruning. Saturday, July the 20th from 9 to noon at the GSA building up on Airport Boulevard. It is free. Get out there and do it. We're going to take a very short break and be back with our next guest. Thank you, Jackie. It was great seeing you.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.
Hi, Josh. I was just thinking about calling you.
That's why I'm here, Deanne. Your smart system alerted me that you were down to 30%.
This smart system is a time saver in summer or winter.
And the best part is it's totally free and saves you money with every fill-up.
My favorite thing about summer is being outdoors. At Camps Propane, you can find everything you need, from cooking to camping and filling your RVs. It's smart and simple, just like the smart system.
For more information about our smart system, come in and talk to a member of the team at our Pioneer store or call 296-5544.